today's episode, we're going to be learning how to become a spellcaster. Huzzah! Huzzah! As you saw in today's episode, we're going to be making another custom spell, and behind the scenes, we're going to be improving a lot of the code. So let's get started with it. First off, we're going to go into the Lyphea main folder. I guess this would be our project name. And over here, we're just going to cut all of this. Next thing we want to do is over here in the item folder, we're going to make a new file. There's going to be a Java class named items. In here, we can paste this for now. What this is going to do is we're going to create our custom item, which is basically going to be a constructor that we call. And as you can see, it's rather quite simple. We pass in the material, the registry name, the display name that's going to be component, the description that we're going to create a lore from, and the custom ability that can be nullable, and that's it. For redundancy purposes, we're going to create another function. The function is going to be the same as this. Instead of a component display name is going to be a string display name with the preferred style. Now that we have done that, what we can do is basically make the register function that's going to look something like this. There we go. So instead of the code that we had, it looks like this, we're going to have something like this. Now, as you can see, we're using some fields that don't exist yet. So let's go and make that in the custom player. What we're going to need to do first off is going to edit this file. That is the player field file. We're going to delete the initial value first, and we're going to create some simple functions. Okay, so the functions are going to look something like this. So we're going to have the get name, set name, which are going to be pretty simple. We have to do that because JSON doesn't correctly serialize and initialize the component. So we're gonna serialize it and store the serialization in a string of the class. We want to get the value, and yeah, so the get value has two functions. This is basically because we can pass in either a type token or a type. So we can call the get current value by doing something like double dot class. That is for simple stuff. And if we need something more complex, we can do new type token list hash maps of, whatever. So basically, and this is gonna work. There you go. So this is for more complex cases, and this is for simpler cases. And both are gonna work. Now, as you can see, we have some errors. So let's fix those now. Okay, there we go, we're back. So what I have added is, instead of the manual initialization of the player, of the mana rather, we want to have initialize player in the custom player manager, which we're going to do next. What I've added is also remove the register field and all of that stuff for just field functions, which are going to be dependent on the variables that we pass in. So string, these two are basically the same thing. And then this one is used to actually, and then this one is actually used to update the value. This one is a bit more complex than these two, but it's about the same. And then the third one is just getting the field. As you can see, it's just getting the field. We have the get player function, which is new. It basically gets the player by bucket. And then we have get NMS player, which hasn't been used yet, but may be used in the future tutorials. Now we have the get field, which is state consistent, and then we have the cast custom item ability, which was previously in the custom player manager or custom item ability manager, I'm not sure. But anyway, it has been moved here because it just makes more sense for it to be here. Now we can go and fix the initialize player problem. Okay, I have finished what I've been working on. So basically, instead of public, we set it to private because it shouldn't be accessible by anything outside of the custom player manager. And here it is, the initialize player. It is just basically a hash map that gets put into the fields, and it is mana, damage, strength, defense, stealth, speed, intelligence, with the values of 0 by default. And these are going to be loaded in from here, from the run plugins, your name over here. From here, they're gonna be loaded in. Now we have some other problems with the custom player manager. It's bugging us about the players because they're no longer accessible. So we're gonna use the get player. Instead of the current value, we're gonna get the current value. This is gonna be, in this case, double.class. We're gonna do that everywhere, so give me a second. Okay, so there we go. This has been fixed. I have shortened it quite a bit, so this was it before. But now, since we have the get player and we can officially set the current value instead of having to assign it new variable and stuff, we can just be as straightforward as possible. And this just types out your current mana the previous mana and the current mana when applied, and that's it. Now we can finally add a new custom ability. So let's create that. That would be interesting. Oh, and my bad, I forgot one more thing. So instead of this, as you can see, it brings up an error. We can just do a one-liner now. It's literally just this. Because the custom player now has the cast item ability, so we can just call it right here. Okay, there we go. So to add the custom ability or a new custom ability, it's just as simple as this. So we just register a custom ability, so this is going to be almost always the same. We just change the name that's in the registry, and this is the code that you want to be executed. So in here, by the way, you can do something like new bucket runnable, and over here you can basically just have something that can be run every second. So let's do run. So for example, when you launch this projectile or cast this ability, in the run function, you can run it, for example, asynchronously every tick, and just say, for example, you wanted to send a player some message, so we can do that, and that's gonna happen every single tick, and it's gonna be tick. And that would work. You just need to input over here this. Yeah, and this is it. That is all that you need for it to be asynchronously telling you tick every tick. And this is never gonna stop in this case, but this can be a lot more complex, especially here in the run function. Okay, so let's give it a go and see if it works. Okay, here we are. We can join server and let's see if it works. So this is from the beginning of the video. This is from the intro, but let's see, give item. Ah, right, the give item command is not gonna work properly because we forgot one thing. And that one thing over here is to actually initialize the items. This is how registering the actual items works. It's just calling the register function and that's it. So let's give it another go. See if it's better this time. Okay, we're back. So let's give item. There we go, both items are here. So let's go wizard wand. Looks correct. Not enough mana, of course. So let's give myself some mana. There we go. So that is it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and comment. If I've missed something, also leave a comment. If you really like the video, please subscribe. If you want to stay up to date, please subscribe. All of the code is going to be on GitHub, which you can go and see and check out if you want to copy any code or have some inspiration. So yeah, there you go.